In this video I'll show you the easy way to treat trigger points in your shoulder muscles. Now there'll be none of the bad things you usually associate with trigger point therapy, such as painful pressing in, awkward positions, needles, lasers or ongoing appointments. But best of all, you can easily do it yourself, and it's as effective, if not more so, than any of the professional therapies. Now the technique I'll be showing you is using a vibration massager. So, how does that work? Well, very simply, if you use them properly, their vibrations penetrate deep in your muscles and basically dissolve the trigger points. Now, proper therapeutic vibrations stop spasm, relax the muscle and increase blood flow, which is exactly what you need. Now later in this video I'll be showing you the specific things for your shoulder muscles, but the basic technique is really simple. Now this is a handheld vibration massager. Now all you need to do is sit the machine on and let the vibrations penetrate. Now, just like ultrasound, which is vibrations at a different frequency, all you need to do is sit the machine on the surface and the therapeutic vibrations are able to go right through you. Now they'll easily and painlessly get to the deep spots that therapists would normally have to use really painful pressure to get to. Plus they get to all the nooks and crannies that conventional massage can't even reach. Now to treat a trigger point, a professional like myself will usually find it, sit the machine on for 30 to 60 seconds, and then recheck to make sure it's a lot better. Now if you're not good at finding them, don't worry. You don't have to find them. Now, I'll be showing you where the common trigger points are, and there are charts like these you can use, so if you like, you just sit the machine on all those common spots. Now the even easier alternative is just to do the whole muscle. Now if you do the whole muscle, you're guaranteed to get all the trigger points. Now if you're using a machine like this, you just go over the muscle systematically. But if you've got a machine like our quad head, you can do a big area at once. It's really easy. Now the way I do it's more efficient, but if you're doing it at home yourself, it doesn't matter. As long as the trigger point gets soaked with therapeutic vibrations, it'll work. Now that said, if you've been using a vibration massager for a while, you'll be able to feel when the vibrations hit a trigger point. Now once you can do that, all you need to do is move the massager systematically over the muscle, and if you feel the vibrations hit a trigger point, just stop the machine for 30 to 60 seconds while you feel the trigger point dissolve. It's that easy. Now, what I do now is look at how to make these treatments as easy and effective as possible, and then we'll look at the spots in your shoulders that you'll need to do. Now first, to get the proper therapeutic vibrations, you'll need a genuine vibration massager, not a massage gun. Now, I'll quickly show you the difference. Now, the machine on the left is a genuine vibration massager. Now, you see it has a contact pad that sends in large amounts of vibrations. Now, the tool on the right is a T-bar, which massage therapists use to apply deep, painful pressure. Now, massage guns are basically T-bars with a jackhammer mechanism to help drive the heads in. Now, straight away you can see that the massage gun delivers a lot less of the therapeutic vibrations you'll need to dissolve the trigger points. Now, massage gun marketers claim that driving the head in increases penetration, but as you've already seen, therapeutic vibrations can go right through you, so that's total BS. And punching into the muscle like a jackhammer will likely do more harm than good. Now, I'll link how to get a proper machine. Now, when you do, the therapeutic vibration ranges from 30 to 60 Hertz, which is cycles per second. Now, I like to use about 50. Now, that's really comfortable and seems to get the best effects. Now, a lot of the machines give their speeds as per minute, so 50 Hertz is 3000 RPM. Now, if you use one of our general purpose massagers, their top speed is about 60 Hertz, so what I do is back it off about 10%. Now, I'll pop a link to a full set of instructions and precautions, but here are the basics. Standard disclaimer, this is not specific advice, just general information to be discussed with your own healthcare professional. Now first, for hygiene and to avoid skin irritation, use the machine over cloth or clothing. And second, if you have the part you're massaging horizontal, you don't need to hold the weight of the machine, and the weight of the machine applies the pressure. And thirdly, have the muscle relaxed. The massage is supposed to relax the muscle, but it can't do that if it's tightened. Now that's one of the reasons foam rollers give very poor results. Now when people use them, they're often tightening the muscle they're trying to massage. Now lastly, you just sit the machine on and let the vibrations soak in. Now there's no need to do the conventional stuff like pressing in and moving the machine around. In fact, that can be counterproductive. Now, obviously, if you move the machine around, you're not letting the vibrations soak in properly. Now next, I'll show you how to examine for trigger points. Now, as I said, you don't really need to be able to do this, but it's nice to know, even if it's just so you can check before and after and be really happy that you've done a great job. Now, start with a general examination using the pads of your fingers, looking for areas of general tightness or tenderness. Now, if you find any, use the tips of one or two fingers to examine more deeply, looking for tight bands of muscle with tender lumps that shoot pain when you're pressing them. Now, they're the trigger points. Now, if you've ever had trigger point therapy before, you know you can have courses of needles, lasers or massage type trigger point therapy and feel good for a while, but the pain eventually comes back. Now that's because trigger points have usually been there a fair while and can be very stubborn. So once they've stopped hurting, you need to keep working on them to get rid of them completely and stop them from coming back. Now this is very easy to do if you've got your own machine, so you're not making appointments and paying out all the time. Now, one last bit of general advice I'll give you is that trigger points are often part of a more complex musculoskeletal problem. Now you can do this therapy yourself, but if there's any doubts or the problem keeps on reoccurring, don't hesitate to get some advice from a professional who deals in this sort of problem, such as a chiro, osteo or physio. Now with that, let's show you how to find all the trigger points in your shoulder muscles. Now the first three muscles we'll do are at the back of your shoulder blade, and you say you can do them all together. Now their names are infraspinatus, teres major and teres minor, and here are their picks. Now the X's mark the common trigger points and the red shows where they shoot pain. Now the easiest way to do these is to lay on your side, roll a bit forward to get the back of your shoulder blade nearly horizontal, and put your arm above your head to make the muscle easy to get at. Now if you do it yourself with a machine like this, you can just work over the muscles systematically and cover them all. Now if you've got something like this, you just put it on and do them all at once. Now the one good thing is that once you've been using the vibration massager a while, you'll feel when the massager goes over trigger points. So basically, you go over the muscles systematically and your massager will find them for you. Now these muscles are great to practice on because they're very thin and the trigger points are very easy to feel. Now what you'll end up doing is moving the massager systematically over your muscle, and when it feels like there's a trigger point underneath, just stop the machine for 30 to 60 seconds while you feel it dissolve. Now the other thing to note here is that with proper ergonomic handles like our machine, it makes it really easy. Now, as I said, massage guns don't give proper therapeutic vibrations, but if they did, the handles won't let you reach a lot of the muscles anyway. Now, while you're in this position, you can massage your tricep muscle, which is up the back of your arm. Now, once you finish the back of your shoulder blade, you just keep heading up towards the back of your arm towards your elbow. Now, the next ones we'll do are the upper trapezius muscle and supraspinatus. Now, as this diagram shows, they run across the top of your shoulder and up the side of your neck. Now, supraspinatus sits underneath the upper trapezius muscle in a groove at the top of your shoulder blade. Now, if you like, you can very easily examine these muscles for trigger points, or as before, you can just move the machine systematically over the muscle. Now, the easiest way to do these is sitting, bending forward a bit and leaning to the opposite side to make the muscle a bit more horizontal and have gravity work for you. Now, one last thing, you hold the massager in the opposite hand. Now, if you hold it with the same hand, it'll cause the muscle to tighten up, which, if you remember, is one of the last things that we don't want. Now, your deltoid muscles sit here, running from the top of your shoulder down to about here. Now, this part of the front, side, and the back. Now, if you like, they're very easy to reach with your fingers, so you can examine them. Now, you can do them laying on your side using gravity, but I find it real easy just to hold the massager like this. Now, if you're using a single head like this, you systematically do the front, side and the back, or you can do something like this and do most of it at once. Now, the next muscles we'll look at are the middle and lower part of your trapezius muscles. Now, as you can see, these are big sheets of muscles across your back. Now, the easiest way to massage these is to use gravity by leaning forward and supporting yourself with your elbow. Now, you won't be able to reach these muscles to examine them, so you're going to need to go over them systematically with a machine. Now, if you have something like our quad head machine with a proper handle, you can do big areas at once. It's really simple. Now, your bicep muscle sits at the front of your arm running from your shoulder to your elbow. Now it's very easy to examine and to massage. Now I find it easiest just to hold the massager like this. Now, your pectoralis muscles, usually as known as your pecs, are right in front of you and are real easy to examine. Now, as these diagrams show, the biggest muscle, pectoralis major, sits at the top, running from the centre of your chest to the middle of your arm, while the pectoralis minor sits underneath the outer part, running roughly vertical. Now you can do these lying on your back and use gravity, but I like to just grip the machine like this and apply it. Now we've got 2 more muscles to go. Now it's a muscle sitting under your shoulder blade called subscapularis. Now it normally sits between your ribs and your shoulder blade where you can't get at it. But if you bring your arm up like this, so your shoulder blade sticks out and you can get to it a bit. Now if you try and use conventional massage in this muscle, you have to poke in, it hurts like hell and it can only get so far. Now the good thing is that vibrations will find their way up between your shoulder blade and your ribs without needing to be physically pushed in there. Now the only other thing with this is for every other muscle I've used the flat head for best vibration transfer. Now for this one, to get access, there's a crevice, so I'm using the domed attachment to get to. Now compared with the other muscles, subscapularis is harder to get at and there's a lot of sensitive structures under your armpit near it. Now once you know what you're doing, you should be fine, but I recommend at the start you get a professional to show you and make sure you're doing it correctly. Now the last muscles are the scalenes that run deep along the side of your neck. Now, scientists found that these were the least important of the muscles that we've looked at, which is a good thing because they don't want you self-massaging them. They sit right on top of sharp pointed parts of your spine and right next to some major nerves and blood vessels. So leave these ones to the professionals. Now, they're all the massage techniques you need to know. Now, even though there were 17 different muscles, once you've done them a few times, you work out a system and be able to do them all very thoroughly in a matter of minutes. Now, just to recap, if you've got some sort of pain, don't stop when the pain goes. Now keep going till you don't feel the trigger points anymore when you examine them or when the massager runs over the muscles. Then you can give your muscles a once over, say once a month, to keep them at bay. Now lastly, as I said, you need a genuine vibration massager. Now a lot of vibrating massagers are not serious therapeutic devices, and as I said, massage guns don't deliver the proper therapeutic vibrations. Now that said, genuine vibration massages are not that common and most are designed for professionals like myself to use on patients rather than for self-use. Now I'll picture a couple of examples here. Now because of that, we built our own personal use vibration massagers. Now this is our general purpose massager. Now the business end delivers copious amounts of therapeutic vibrations. And it's got an ergonomically designed handle so you can easily use it anywhere on your body, and it's very easy to use controls. Now on and off switches underneath and has a sliding variable speed control under your thumb. Now over the years we've sold over 100,000 of these without any advertising, mainly through professionals like chiropractors, osteopaths and physiotherapists using them and recommended to their patients. Now more recently we've developed our quad head machine, which has all the good things that a general purpose massager has, but you can do a much greater area at once. And because the front part is larger and flatter, you can easily use it like a cushion or a chair massager. Now, for more information on using vibration massagers or our machines, please see our website or the description. Now, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate, and thank you very much for watching. It has been most appreciated.